I probably spent 90% of my day fixated on carbs. I used to weigh 275 pounds, and I spent years struggling to lose weight, and I kept failing. And it was because I kept getting stuck and caught on worrying about these 5 specific things. Once I realized it and I stopped worrying about these things, I was able to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. So the first thing that I had to stop worrying about was slip-ups. I would try to lose weight and I would be doing really good, and then all of a sudden I'd go out, I'd have fast food, and I would eat more than I intended. Or I'd get a craving for cookies or ice cream and I'd have some, but then I'd end up going a little overboard and I would panic. I'd feel really guilty and I'd go, well, that's my whole progress out the window. I'm done. I'm never gonna. That's it. I canceled everything. I ruined it. My whole life is over. So I would throw all my progress that I had made out the window, and I would start emotional eating, and it would start me in a never-ending cycle. What I needed to realize, and eventually did, was slip-ups are normal, especially on a weight loss journey, because a journey is not linear. So slip-ups happen, and they did happen on my journey. And then I started to realize I need to be gentle on myself and go, okay, I ate a little more, I didn't plan it, but be gentle and move on. Especially once I realized you need to eat 3,500 calories above your maintenance calories to gain 1 pound of body fat. When I realized that, I was like, so the whole time where I thought that I was like overdoing it big time, I was way under that. So I was blowing things out of proportion. But what would happen is my slip up of a couple of cookies, I would go, well, I ruined everything. So then I would eat more. And that was what was putting me in the calorie surplus. Not this slip up, but the feeling guilty and then throwing everything out the window. So then I started going, okay, if I have a slip up, it's not a big deal. The only time that it can make you gain weight is if you're doing it day after day after day, then you're gonna put yourself in a surplus. So on those times where I kept having slip-ups, I would use it as a sign, like maybe it's because I didn't build things I liked in my meal plan. And it would be, I took away, food groups that I enjoyed. I took away treats. Once I realized that, I built it back in. I had less slip-ups, and when I had the slip-up, I'd be like, okay, not the end of the world. Yeah, I messed up. It's okay. Move on and go back to my plan. The second one, carbs. I have to tell you this one. I probably spent 90% of my day fixated on carbs. If I eat them, they're gonna gain weight. I don't wanna give them up. They're bad. Which ones should I eat? Should I maybe only eat certain ones and then it'll be okay? What if I eat a carb? Will I gain all my weight back? All these crazy thoughts about carbs, and all it did was cause me to go on this never-ending cycle of like restricting the carbs or taking them away fully. Then I would, obviously, I couldn't do that. It was too restrictive. I'd end up eating a carb, feel guilty, and then go on the never-ending cycle again, just like in the slip-ups. So I had to look at that and go, wait a minute. If I like carbs, and every time I take them away, it keeps making it worse, why don't I build them into my plan? And that's when I started having, I started to use portion control to lose the weight. Because I thought, well, if I take any food group away, especially carbs, it's just causing me to fail. What if I eat stuff I like in portion? Because this was the thing that I didn't realize. It wasn't the carbs that was making me gain weight. It was that I was eating too much. There's only one rule to lose weight, and that's you have to be in a calorie deficit. It's calories in, calories out. So you have to consume less calories than you burn, and that's what a calorie deficit is. Once I realized that, I was like, as long as I portion out what I like, I can get the results. And because I was portioning out my food, I had so much weight to lose, I was enjoying what I was eating. The portion control helped me get in a calorie deficit. I was able to stick to what I was doing, And that's why I was able to lose the 50 pounds in 3 months, because I stopped worrying about these things, combined it with portion control and enjoying what I was eating. And that really made a difference. I wanted to make this video because, like I said, I struggled for years focusing on all these rules that the fitness and weight loss industry had, and everything that I'm worried about in this video that I told you that I stopped worrying about. I spent, I would say 99% of my day consumed with how to be perfect in dieting. But there were so many rules and so many contradictive rules that all I did was get confused and anxious. And once I looked at it and I said, wait a minute, if doing what the weight loss and fitness industry says is just making me confused and anxious all the time and I just keep failing, let's look at what I need to do for my body and myself. And that's when I started to portion my food. Portioning out my food and stopping worrying about this stuff didn't just help me lose 50 pounds in 3 months. It helped me enjoy what I was doing, stop make weight loss a punishment, love my food, and I was able to lose a total of 130 pounds and keep it off for 8 years. Because I had to make a relax and do what I wanted, not what other people or the weight loss fitness industry told me was important to worry about in losing weight. The third one, meal timing. This was another one that I was consumed with all the time. If I just timed my meals perfectly, if I didn't eat past 7 o'clock, especially if I didn't eat carbs past 7 o'clock, if I stopped eating after dinner, if I ate within an hour of waking, then I heard, oh wait, don't eat within an hour of waking, drink a glass of water with lemon in it, and then eat your breakfast an hour later, like all these things around meal timing, all it did was get me to fixate on numbers, and I had really bad emotional eating, and so focusing on the numbers and the timing, it just triggered my emotional eating. So then I said, how do I want to eat? Well, I have a big appetite. I'm always hungry. When I wake up in the morning, I probably want to eat. So I would start my breakfast when I woke up. Then, because of, my job and the way my day went, spacing my meals out 2 to 4 hours apart just worked for me. Now, 8 years later, it's every 5 hours that I eat. But it didn't matter. All that mattered was that I ate in a calorie deficit and I ate when I wanted to, when I was hungry, and spreading it out for me helped me feel fuller longer and keep my metabolism level, but not so that I was starving all of the time. So getting rid of the meal timing, I liked eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and 2 snacks, and I just spaced it out the way I wanted to. I didn't worry about pre-workout, post-workout, stop eating at this time. If I want to eat at midnight, I do, because I just have to be eating in a calorie deficit. I can eat whenever I want. I can eat at 3 a.m. standing up on my head if I want to. As long as I'm in a calorie deficit, I'll lose the weight.
I would add in one thing. If you like doing intermittent fasting and, and it works for you, that's cool. Mm-hmm. But we have a lot of experience in weight loss, and we've been on YouTube almost 9 years. Very, 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 very rare that someone with overweight, overeating issues can skip breakfast and not overindulge at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Very, very rare.
You're right. That's a really good point, Sassy, because like Kyle, my husband, he lost 50 pounds in 3 months doing portion control as well and stopping worrying about these things. He's also lost a total of 130 pounds and kept it off for the same amount of time. We both struggled with that. We both had emotional eating. Anytime that we tried intermittent fasting, it didn't work. We tried skipping breakfast because we thought it would save us calories, but all it did was make us so hungry at the end of the day, it was counterproductive. We ended up eating more calories because we were so hungry than if we would have just ate breakfast and spread our meals out throughout the day.
So while it doesn't matter when you eat, if it's not sustainable for you and it's causing you to overeat, then it does matter. So
and that's why for me, I learned I need to eat when I wake up, because if not, all heck's gonna break loose at night. And I wanted to stop that because I wanted to get the results and keep it off. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks, spread them out 2 to 4 hours. That's what worked for me. You gotta do what works for you. But if you're having, extra slip ups and things are just not working, that's when you got to take a look at your diet and see, okay, where might you be going wrong? What is not working, so that you can sort of tweak it and actually make it sustainable for you. And if you want to know like the exact portions and meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and code Nicole will save you 10%. Number 4, exercise. I had such a big focus that I could exercise my weight off. But the thing is, you can't out-train a bad diet. And I see everywhere, I did when I was struggling to lose weight, and I still see it now. The fixation or the focus on exercise to lose weight, the problem is if you're in a calorie surplus, you're not gonna be able to exercise that amount to burn all those calories. Like, you can't out-train a bad diet. First, you need to get your diet in check, eat in a calorie deficit, then the exercise becomes the cherry on top. Once Kyle and I started eating in portion control to get into a calorie deficit, and we were getting results just by eating less, then we added 15 minutes of exercise a day, which was walking. At our size, we physically couldn't really do much for exercise. And when we would try all the stuff they said burned a lot of calories, like HIIT, jogging, running, Insanity, P90X, all that stuff, we weren't fit enough. So we'd either get injured or we'd be so exhausted we wouldn't want to do it. But walking for 15 minutes combined with the portion control, we could sort of do the walking. We had to stop every couple minutes because we had leg cramps, I had plantar fasciitis. But we were able to keep sticking to the 15 minutes every day, rain or shine, and that eventually built up our stamina, and we could go the whole way through without breaks. So exercise is the cherry on top. The diet is the biggest thing. You gotta enjoy what you're eating so that you'll stick to it, and then eat less so that you can lose the weight. And then you can add exercise when you're ready and something that you enjoy that you'll be able to stick to and sustain. Number 5, sodium. And I see this in our comment section all the time. Isn't that too much sodium? Don't you worry about sodium? I really did. I obsessed about sodium. I heard it was bad. I heard if you limit it or, don't have any, that you could lose weight. So I thought and Kyle too, we thought if we took it away or really, limited it, that it would help us lose weight. The problem is your body actually does need a certain amount of sodium to function. When we were overweight, we were going overboard with the sodium just because of the food that we were taking in. We were getting a lot of sodium in overeating all the time. When we started to lose weight, we took all the sodium away. So we went way underboard, and we started actually getting really bad migraines and fatigue. And then we realized, it was for a couple of weeks where we could almost barely function. Our migraines were so bad, we finally realized it was because we were taking away too much salt.
Yeah, it's something the body needs. But
yes.
How many times in social media do you hear that sodium's bad versus how many times you hear it's good? There's no balance there. It's just something the body needs. But all we heard all day, and it's still out there, sodium's bad.
So we stopped, because what we started doing was we stopped salting our food, and we started buying everything that was either 0 sodium or low sodium. So we stopped doing that. We started salting our food again, and every once in a while we'll buy something that's reduced sodium, but for the most part, we just buy food that we like, that we're gonna stick to eating, and then naturally, because we eat a balance of foods, we just get the regular amount of sodium. We don't worry about it. And then it's not causing us to go into that cycle again of taking it all away, worrying about stuff.
For physical activity too, sodium's really important. So we were exercising on top of taking away salt, and it was causing problems.
Yeah, and we did that at the beginning of our journey. We just did it again this summer, and we were starting to get headaches again. And then we realized we just did a repeat of the beginning of our journey.
It's too hot, it's too sweaty and not replenishing.
We weren't eating enough salt. So there's a balance there where you do need a certain amount. So to panic and worry about it all the time, if that's just gonna throw you off, it threw me off, so I had to stop worrying about that. Sugar too. I eat a balance. I mostly eat lean protein. You guys see my full days of eating. It's fruit, veg, lean protein, whole grains. Mostly it's what you would call healthy food. And then I eat some pickles. I salt my food. I don't worry about what kind of sodium is in my pasta sauce and all that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm able to stick to what I'm doing, because I allow myself a balance. Plus I let myself enjoy things that I like. And that's how Kyle and I can stick to what we're doing. So the friends, weight loss should never be a punishment. And that is why I'm making this video, because all that worrying does is get you stuck in a cycle. Look at what's gonna work for you and do that. If you can stick to it, that's how you're gonna get the results. If you're not having fun, you're not getting it done, which means if you don't like what you're doing, you're not gonna be able to stick to it in the long haul. We had to say, we have to make this a lifestyle change, not a diet. Because if we don't like what we're doing and we can't keep it up, then there's no point. We're not gonna lose weight. We're gonna keep going in that cycle over and over and over again for the rest of our lives. I'll show you, if you love protein, if you wanna get extra protein and you want it to be super tasty, we got Hoodle. HTLT subs, they just came out with their seasonal flavors, and this one is the Greganog. They literally have the best tasting protein powder. We're gonna show you a holiday or seasonal flavor bonanza. This hot chocolate, we just had it in our protein ice cream tonight. Literally smells and tastes like hot chocolate. And then they also came out with the Jingle Juice pre-workout, which actually tastes pretty good, like a orange gummy mixed with McDonald's orange pop, I would say. If you want the best subs in the world, including the best protein powder, links down below. Code Nicole will save you 10%. The friends, I hope this helped anybody struggling. Be gentle on yourself. Find stuff that you like to do, that you want to do, so that you're waking up every morning and going, yeah, I love my food, I love my exercise, I just love life. And yes, I'm not worried about nothing. And while you're doing that, watch this vid and this vid for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips, because Sassy and I are real friends losing weight in the real world, where we make sure that we love it and we don't treat weight loss as a punishment, because life is too short. You gotta love it. You gotta love the journey, and that's how you get it done, sweetheart. Thanks for watching. Sass and I really appreciate your love and support. Peace, and I will catch you in the next vid. Me. Look at my new jogging suit.
Pretty fancy.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
It's good for dancing.
Yeah, yeah. I love ya. See ya.
Bye.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.